Weekly live stream of environmental news, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm Stacy Savage, aka the Texas Trash Talker, and we're going to be talking today about some circular economics and break down kind of what's working, what's stalling out, and what's just downright dangerous in our business and government approaches to our environment. So, why now? Look, the clock is ticking. Choices that we make every day are shaping the kind of planet that we all live on tomorrow. And so in 2025 has been a year of really bold innovations, very frustrating rollbacks and setbacks, and very stark reminders of what's actually at stake. So from billion-dollar clean tech breakthroughs to canceled energy projects, policy setbacks. This conversation will equip you with real world examples to learn from and act on. So you'll want to stick around till the end because I've got 3 really effective action steps for you to take. And of course, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll try to get to them. So let's talk about the 3 steps or 3 stories in each category: the good, the bad, the ugly. So the good, which is progress and innovation, Microsoft's carbon negative commitment, they remain steadfast in their goal to become carbon negative by 2030. This is despite rising emissions from AI infrastructure. Microsoft as a company, has really invested over about $8 billion in carbon removal projects, including direct air capture and bioenergy with carbon capture and storage. And it's actually working to reduce emissions across this entire supply chain. That's from the Wall Street Journal. Number 2 in our good category is environmental startups that are leading the way. These are innovative startups like Fram Energy, Pathways, Vicarb, Synonym, and Voltpost. They're making significant strides in sustainability. For instance, Fram Energy is addressing the split incentive issue in rental properties by enabling landlords and their tenants to share the benefits of solar energy. Thereby, that expands access to clean power, and that's stated in Forbes. Number 3 in our good category today is airlines are embracing sustainable aviation fuel. Major U.S. airlines, including United, Delta, JetBlue, they're investing heavily in sustainable aviation fuels and fleet upgrades. United has committed to a 100% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 without relying on carbon offsets, showcasing a strong commitment to decarbonizing their air travel. Now let's get to the bad, which is kind of setbacks and reversals of policies that we've already seen. The first in that category is a $14 billion in clean energy projects have been canceled. In 2025, these clean energy projects have been canceled or delayed in the US, resulting in the loss of approximately 10,000 potential jobs. This downturn is attributed to proposed tax legislation threatening clean energy credits, leading to uncertainty of halting projects like Core Power's battery factory in Arizona, and that's from the AP. Number 2 in the bad category is that the Supreme Court is limiting environmental reviews. SCOTUS has ruled that to narrow the scope of environmental reviews required for major infrastructure projects, such as an 88-mile oil rail line in Utah. This decision reduces the power of the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA, and it might lead to the increased fuel development with less environmental oversight. And that's from the WP, the Washington Post. The third in this category of the bad is AI's growing environmental footprint. I'm sure y'all know that the rapid expansion of AI technologies is really raising concerns about their environmental impacts, particularly regarding energy consumption and carbon emissions. Despite these turns, there is a lack of comprehensive federal legislation addressing the environmental effects of AI, leaving a regulatory gap. Now let's get to the ugly. Um, some of this is really sad, but don't fear. I've got some action oriented items at the end for you. So the ugly is really like policy rollbacks and data suppression. So think about, policy cancellations. Number one in the ugly category is that the US is withdrew from the Paris Agreement again. Donald Trump signed Executive Order 14162, which withdraws the United States participation in the Paris Agreement and other international climate commitments. Um, this move has drawn a lot of criticism from environmental organizations, public health organizations, scientists who really view it as a significant setback in global climate leadership. Now, the second in this category is cuts to US Geological Survey's ecosystem mission areas. So the Trump administration has proposed significant funding cuts to the US Geological Survey's ecosystem mission area, potentially eliminating critical programs like the North American Bat Monitoring Program. These cuts threaten decades of scientific research and the government's ability to respond to ecological crises. And that's in Vox News. Vox, not Fox. And then the third and final in this ugly category is the removal of environmental justice tools. Now, in 2025, the US EPA, our Environmental Protection Agency, were forced to remove the environmental justice screening tool, which is used to map and screen for environmental justice concerns. This action, along with the deletion of other scientific resources from federal websites, has raised concerns and alarms about transparency and the suppression of environmental data. So, what is our call to action now that you've kind of seen a full picture here? How do we inspire wins? How do we attack the ongoing struggles? And how do we emotionally handle the alarming threats? And I do need you to remember that change doesn't happen from the sidelines. If you're a business leader, it's time to double down, step up on your climate commitments, and do not delay them. If you're a policymaker or a voter, fight for transparency, fight for environmental justice, and really bold legislation is what we need. If you're a citizen, a consumer, your choices, your voices, your values, they matter immensely right now. So here are 3 actions that you can take today. So you can support businesses that are truly committed to sustainability, and shop local. You can contact your elected officials about policies like the Inflation Reduction Act, NEPA, the environmental justice programs from the EPA, those tools that were stripped of the website so people can't look at what's happening in their communities. And then 3, share what you've learned here with your network. Let's amplify this awareness and the ways that people can get involved and start taking action. Look, when we connect the dots between business policy and public power, we can shape a better, more sustainable future. It's not just observing history, we have the power to actually write it. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Stay loud, stay clear, stay committed to climate action through zero waste, through energy efficiencies, through water consumption reduction, anything that you can do in your own household or in your business to be more sustainable, and contacting your lawmakers to let them know that environmental justice and environmental protections are extremely important to you. And I will end it there.